John and Jordan were two peas in a pod. They were inseparable. Every Saturday they'd play catch on the baseball field, John teaching Jordan how to swing for the fences. Sundays were for soccer in the park, their laughter echoing through the trees. Evenings were spent reading bedtime stories, John inventing fantastical tales that left Jordan wide-eyed with wonder. Their bond, it seemed, was unbreakable. John, a single father, dedicated his life to Jordan. He worked tirelessly to provide for him, to shower him with love and attention. John believed their shared experiences were the foundation of an unbreakable bond. They were a team, a unit, facing the world together. But life, as it often does, had other plans. A storm was brewing, threatening to shatter their idyllic world. It arrived not with a bang, but with a soft meow in the form of a stray cat Jordan named Whiskers. Jordan, now a teenager, started to change. He traded his baseball bat for video games, his soccer ball for graphic novels. He spent hours locked in his room, the sounds of his childhood replaced by the digital beeps and buzzes of his console. John watched, a growing unease settling in his heart. He missed their talks, their laughter, their shared passion for the outdoors. One rainy afternoon, Jordan came home with a scrawny, mud-caked kitten clutched to his chest. He called it Whiskers. John felt a pang of annoyance. He'd never been a pet person, and the idea of a cat shedding hair all over his meticulously clean house filled him with dread. He voiced his concerns, but Jordan, unusually stubborn, refused to budge. He was keeping Whiskers. The arrival of Whiskers marked a turning point in their relationship. The easy camaraderie they once shared began to fade. John felt increasingly shut out of Jordan's life. The laughter they used to share was replaced by tense silences, their once unbreakable bond slowly cracking under the strain. "No cats in the house, Jordan. I've told you before," John said, his voice firm. He couldn't believe this was happening. A stray cat, was driving a wedge between him and his son. It seemed absurd, impossible, and yet here they were, standing on opposite sides of a furry, meowing divide. "But Dad, he needs me." He was all alone in the rain. His voice was pleading, his eyes wide with a mixture of defiance and fear. John saw a new side of his son. A stubbornness he hadn't encountered before. John felt a surge of anger. He'd worked hard, sacrificed so much for Jordan, and this cat was all it took to challenge his authority. "It's me or the cat, Jordan. Choose." The words hung heavy in the air, a line drawn in the sand. He knew he was being unreasonable, perhaps even cruel, but a strange sense of desperation had gripped him. He had to regain control, re-establish his position in his son's life. Jordan chose the cat. He packed a small bag, tears streaming down his face, and walked out of the house, Whiskers nestled securely in his arms. John watched him go, a hollow ache in his chest. He wanted to call out, to tell Jordan to come back, that it was a mistake. But the words wouldn't come. Pride, stubbornness, fear, they formed a knot in his throat, choking the words before they could escape. Weeks turned into months. John heard whispers, rumors about Jordan and the cat living on the streets, finding shelter in doorways and under bridges. He tried to find him, driven by guilt and worry, but Jordan seemed to have vanished. The house, once filled with laughter and the comforting aroma of home-cooked meals, felt unbearably empty. John was alone, haunted by his own actions. One cold, rainy night, John stumbled upon a sight that chilled him to the bone. There, huddled in a makeshift shelter constructed from cardboard boxes, was Jordan, his face gaunt, his clothes ragged, and nestled beside him, purring softly, was Whiskers. John's heart shattered. He had been wrong, so terribly wrong.